Ishita has now appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari's regime to apply a political solution to the case of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mr. Ishita, representing the Aba South constituency, made the appeal in a statement issued yesterday. According to him, solving Minister Nnamdi Kanu's lingering case through a political approach will usher in a lasting solution and permanent peace in the southeast. Well, Buhari has said it in Kigali that there will not be any option to that. Let's take a look at some of the other headlines, and I'm going to come back to you in the studio. This is Starr Radio UK.
Just a quick one on Nnamdi Kanu's issue. Now, we know that the president made that statement that he wasn't even going to get a bail because it's a flight risk. Okay, so with this Abia State people now going to appeal to him and all that, I don't think it will do anything unless, of course, the whole of the southeast is actually the leadership are rising up and saying that no, you are the cause. What is happening is the cause of the instability in that area. I don't think anything different will happen. What do you think?
Well, you're quite right. It might matter that some of them had to do so now. Because the tension in the south is, like I said, is becoming unbearable, and it's also moving of the military into that particular region for reason known to the government because of the instability that is in the southeast. So if we get more of the the representative speaking out, maybe there could be a lasting political solution. And the question is, if Nnamdi Kanu remains, as we know, the next time he's going to be appearing in the court is about 5 months from now, which is around November, and we are having an election according to this government in February. I'm not seeing a court ruling a bill or completing Nnamdi Kanu's case before 2023. And if that is the case, what would then be the consequence of holding him and then trying to hold election in an unstable current situation, as we know? Because, like I said, Nnamdi Kanu's case will not be completed before 2023, and that means the chances that the tension that is still a little bit calm, if political structure, or the senator says, if there could be a lasting solution through a political solution, but it doesn't seem this government is going to do that. But then, are we going to see more tension moving into 2023?
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Let's go back to Yomi so that he brings us the rest of the stories there. Over to you, sir.
Well, because of the time constraint, so we're just going to give the headline and come back again. 17 officers killed, 4 Chinese adopted, as Boko Haram now moves to seize Chiroro power plant. Authorities are yet to understand the extent of the attack, even up to 48 hours since the attack. Also, adding criminals, Buhari has now signed a deal to allow the United Kingdom offload adding foreign criminals in Nigeria. Our new landmark agreement with Nigeria will increase the deportation of dangerous foreign criminals to make our street and country safer. So it's better to have criminals back in the country than have them in UK. So that means the criminals will probably be let go when they get to Nigeria, and the criminals will probably continue their criminality. That's the way I looked at it. The President Muhammadu Buhari has signed a deportation agreement with United Kingdom, which will see deportation of Nigerian illegal immigrant and criminals. I do know, and I'm aware, that a chartered flight went back to Nigeria with the deportation of a lot of people, elderly and children that have lived in the country for a very long time. Most of the deportees were originally from Nigeria, but it was unclear if all those expected to be shipped into the country from the UK also had Nigerian roots. On Thursday, the Home Secretary Priti Patel described the Memorandum of Understanding as a landmark agreement, making an example of the Britain new immigration plan. In the new landmark agreement with Nigeria, we increase the deportation of dangerous foreign criminals to make our street and country safer, and take the fight to the criminal people smugglers together to tackle illegal immigration. According to what we know, officials estimated place the number of foreign criminals in the UK prison at about 9,815. Remember also that immigration we'll be moving people to Rwanda, where you can continue, when it comes to your immigration. Interfaith coalition condemns Christian and Muslim ticket. If we say we want to have peaceful political process, why can't the parties have a religious balance of the whole process? That's coming from the headline as well. Omoyele Sowore, as we do know, his running mate has now been unveiled, according to Sowore yesterday. Sowore unveils a Kanu-born running mate, says he will win state for AAC. Mr. Sowore made the announcement at his Abuja residence Thursday evening, where he remarked that Mr. Magashi would win the state for the AAC in the next election. We're going to take one more, come back again to you. Atiku battles to avert PDP collapse as Wike loyalists threatening defection. Starr Radio UK, because of the time constraint, I'm going to come back, but the Nigerian government shields herdsmen, blames ISWAP for the Owo attack, as we have it in the report.
Well, that's quite an interesting one, because I saw that story where a herdsman have been shot by the government. Why are they blaming ISWAP for doing that?
Well, we do know that there's a lot of evidence that the government, especially Buhari, tends to protect, his own kinsmen, the Fulanis, and that is part of what the report is saying. Nigerian government shields herdsmen and is now blaming ISWAP for the Owo attack. Remember when that incident happened, there was a disagreement between the state governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the federal government in what we know. But Nigerian officials blaming the terror attack on the St. Francis Catholic Church in Ondo State on the Islamic State West African province, while avoiding reference to network of politically powerful herdsmen, according to Norfolk's News Sentiment Report. According to the senior fellow at the Religious Freedom Institute in Washington, D.C., Stephen Rachel, Nigerian Christians no longer trust their own government or the leaders of the United States and the European Union. On the Owo massacre, Rachel said these type of murders are taking place weekly, almost daily in Nigeria. Murders of innocent Christians being gunned down, slaughtered indiscriminately throughout the north and increasingly into the central part of the Nigeria and in the south. How the Nigerian Christians are reacting, he says many of them simply throw up their hands because they can no longer trust their own government or the leaders of United States of America and the European Union. Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Well, it's a sad one when you have your own government that you don't even trust them, because they say something, you think that they've got a different motive altogether. And there's something that cropped up my mind whilst we were looking at that, and I was asking myself, so do everybody sees by default position herdsmen are all Fulanis who are rampaging to kill people? Is that what seems to be going on in Nigeria now?
Well, like I said, there is a lot of evidence that those that seems to be moving their cattle from one end to the other are now using that as well to terrorize innocent Nigerians. Yes, we do have some that are still loyal, but the majority are no longer using the cow business. They are just using that as something to pretend. And that is what somebody like remember we talked yesterday about the fact-finding mission from the parliamentary group to Benue State, and part of the conversation is from the Benue State governor is there is ample evidence that the government has literally opened up the border, allow influx of foreign fighters into the country and pretend to be herdsmen, which they are not. They are full-blown terrorists and they are creating a lot of havoc. But the government seems to be looking and shying away from that.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, our favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji and Prince Adebanjo. Say Yoruba Nation is loading reconciliation now. And Prince Adebanjo presents us with a very nice flower or rose flowers. Yes, we want to say thank you very much for doing so as well. Let me see whether there are other comments that is making the rounds there on other okay. There seem not to be anyone on the YouTube at the moment, so let's go back to Yomi for some more on the social media platform and other stories there. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. It seems not to be going very well with the Ekirimadus, as now Ekirimadu kinsmen are lobbying the federal government, the African Union, the ECOWAS over the UK investigation. The kinsmen of the former Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekirimadu, and the wife Beatrice Ekirimadu have demanded that due process be followed in his ongoing trial over alleged organ harvesting in the United Kingdom. The news agency of Nigeria reported that the group under the auspice of Ikwa MUP Paysetters League made the call in a statement on Thursday in Enugu by its coordinator chairman, Mr. Ejiko Ezekiel. Mr. Ejiko also called on the federal government, African sub-regions, institutions, and the Igbo community to ensure justice in the matter. Ekirimadu and his wife Beatrice were arrested last week by the Metropolitan Police in London for alleged conspiracy to harvest organ of a minor Iwamini David. So that takes us straight to the social media, and let's look at what is trending. David Odoye, at David Odoye, those of us who should have become tomorrow's job creators in Nigeria have been forced to leave. All our skills and ideas are helping Americans, the Europeans, the Arabs becoming wealthier, while our people at home are doing affiliated marketing, drop shipping, and Yahoo bot choice. And just as we always say, in Nigeria, not happen to you. Let's look at Obina Nwosu. Most politicians in Nigeria are envious of the love Nigerians are showing Peter Obi, without him asking. People are donating time, money, and resources, while the rest of the politicians are getting invoiced daily. Let's take a look at more that is trending on the social media this morning. Simon Ekpa, for the UK Attorney General to think of considering whether Ike Kirimadu case be transferred to Nigeria or tried in the UK is already a corruption. The said crime of trafficking is an international crime, and jurisdiction is always in the country where the person was trafficked. And let's look at what Ifa Funsho is saying. I'm going to take one more, and then we're going to come straight back to you in the studio. When you love yourself, people who don't love themselves become less attractive to you. And he also says quite a lot from him. If you are a truly Omo Odua, you are truly Omoluabi, your loyalty should be always to the Yoruba race, Yoruba freedom, Yoruba nation, except you are Omo Ale. Yoruba language isn't vernacular. Yoruba language is older than English language. That's also from him. And that means it is Starr Radio UK, because I know at 12 we have Mr. Dante that will be giving us everything to save us a bit of penny, so that we do not get caught up with the tightening of our seatbelt in United Kingdom and other parts of those of us living outside the United Kingdom that has family here, because most Nigerians rely on their loved ones that are working in the United Kingdom to send them money back home, because there's no money in Nigeria as we speak today.
Interesting. Well, we will not be able to touch on all the other stories making the rounds in Nigeria, but is there any special program for the movement over this weekend, or what other celebrations have been organized?
Well, for the 1 year remembrance of Chief Sunday Adeyemo's house invasion, there will be a lot of activities from today up to the next 72 hours. The most important one is there will be a special prayer for the two innocent souls that died in that particular house. There would also be, as we continue fundraising activities for Chief Sunday Igboho's legal bills as well. And likewise tomorrow, because on the 3rd there was a rally that still went ahead, if you remember, in Lagos, that led to the killings of innocent Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
A particular girl, Jumoke Oyeleke, was actually killed. So on the 3rd, the G49, as they are known, would also be coming with what I know as a prayer for those that died, as those that were also arrested on that particular fateful day. So yes, these are all the activities that is expected. So right there behind me, as you can see, it says July 1st 2021, where there will be activities that will be taking place to remember the unforgettable day in the history of Yoruba nation self-determination. Akoligbagbe means we will not forget you. Let's celebrate our heroes for laying down their lives for the Yoruba freedom. And the speaker will be part of that, will be Chief Sunday Igboho himself, and likewise Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Fund. This is going to be happening later on tonight and likewise tomorrow. Star Radio UK, it is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London as we bring these updates to an end. But on Monday, I'll be back again for a lot of activities of what took place over the weekend.
Yes, Yomi, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful update once again.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, listeners, that is Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you, bringing you updates from Nigeria, and it's coming your way from Star Radio UK. Comes your way every weekday from 11 o'clock exactly. Yes. But the broadcast starts from 10 o'clock when we bring you all the news that you need to know from Sky to the Sky platform to all looking at all other parts of the world, and then we commence with the in-house program. Well, you want to be part of it? Make sure that your dials are still logged on Star Radio UK, and don't you go away. As I announced earlier on, due to the technical work that will be going on this afternoon again at 12:30 exactly, the curtains will be brought down. But let me announce the lines open. If you want to hop on, just feel free to do so, because exactly at 12 o'clock, we'll be taking you to Kent, where our money man is all lined up, and today looking at the cost of living crisis that we are facing here in the UK. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. It is Star, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Enjoy this tune that I've fallen in love with of late, and it's from Niger. The peace that I've talked about all the time. I say yes, Ododoa, yes, IPOP, yes, everything, but we still need peace to be able to go about our duties. So enjoy this song. I'll be with you.
Up to an eerie morning, the children playing. No sounds of greetings, one neighbor to another. Oh, it's quiet and gloomy. Peace don't live here no more. No more.
This is Star Radio UK.
Can't believe the damage we've done.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Neighbor harming neighbor.
Children grieving for their parents, hacked down before their time.
I can't go out. I don't know who to trust. Fear is just the other of the day.
Peace is the way we want to live.
With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences.
listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
We have our differences, we cannot change things, making war.
Without peace, all dreams are home.
Without peace, there's no room to build. So much work to be done to make Nigeria the country of our dreams.
With peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace we don't have to.
Okay, yes. With peace. We need peace. We need peace to live peaceably with all around us. But if people are not giving you that, you are doing your best to live peaceably with them, and they're not. What do you do on that in that situation? Olajumoke Ajoke, thumbs up to you too, sir. So it's been one of the tunes that I've loved this last few weeks, and I hope that you've enjoyed that as well. But it's all Starr Radio UK. We've got about 90 minutes to go round quickly. And once again, let me say good morning to Mr. Kate Yorson, who joined us. Yes, as I said, the political program will be coming on pretty soon. All right, then. So now let's move on. Now, in other parts of the world, we'll touch on one story, and then we move on from there. Well, I slept better under Mahama, although I criticized him. That's what Professor Enin said. I did bring that your way yesterday. And then more help comes to residents of K2 South affected by tidal wave. Those are some of the stories. Where is the help coming from? Those are some of the stories making the rounds there as well. It was ignorant for the police to use terrorism as an excuse to stop Arise Ghana demo. Now, security analyst Adib Al-Sani has described the excuse of terrorism in preventing Arise Ghana demonstrators from holding their demonstration in the evening as an ignorant excuse. The analyst explained that although he was in support that the demonstration should not be held in the evening, using the act of terrorism to prevent demonstrators exposed the police's ignorance. He stated that the other thing he deduced from the excuse was that the police were acting politically. Now, Adib Sani said it was an errant nonsense for the police to have given such an excuse. He was speaking this morning, and he told he said further, the excuse was based on an order from above to make sure the demonstrators were frustrated. If the police had allowed them to use the Jubilee House lane, it would not have resulted in any security breach. The order from above caused the violence on Wednesday. The demonstration would have been peaceful if not for the interference from the government. He added, terrorism usually occurs in the day. Now, if you understand terrorism and its related matters, you will not come out with such nonsense. It is neither here nor there. It shows that the police are ignorant, of how terrorists operate, he stressed. Now, well, the police decided, well, we're not going to, so, give a dog a bad name and then you hang it. That's what exactly that they did there. But, well, other demonstrations went on there. And what's going to be the stand of government? What is government going to do about it? That is a question that people have been asking. But just moving on straight. Otabel ICGC Lighthouse Chapel among churches missing from National Cathedral donor list. Oh, okay. Let me bring you that and we go. This is a holy thing that we are doing. So why haven't they been part of it? They are churches, and they. The document cited has revealed that Dr. Mason Otabel's International Central Gospel Church and Lighthouse Chapel International are among churches that have not donated towards the construction of the National Cathedral. Also, the Catholic Church has not made any contributions since the donation began in 2018. On the contrary, the Church of Pentecost has donated a total of 700,000 Ghana cedis, making it the largest donor so far. others, including the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and the Southern Ghana Union of SDA, have contributed 200,000 each, whilst Action Chapel International has also committed 300,000. The Methodist Church of Ghana, Christ Apostolic Church, the Triumphant Baptist Church, Kwadaso, and others have equally donated 100,000 each towards the project. Well, the list is there. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, and in total, the grand total is 2.207 million donated so far. Have you donated some? Is it for a worthy cause? Well, we have to all go to our Jerusalem. So our Jerusalem is going to be the National Cathedral, innit? Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on straight to other parts of the world because we have to cross to Kent, where our money man is. Now, I did talk about this earlier on when it came to the environment and the spillage of oil, the oil rig that is inflamed in Nigeria, the accident that have happened there. But the U.S. Environment Protection Agency has lost some of its power to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. A landmark ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court represents a major setback to President Joe Biden's climate plans. He called it a devastating decision, but said it will not undermine his effort to tackle the climate crisis. The case against the EPA was brought by West Virginia on behalf of 18 other mostly Republican-led states and some of the nation's largest coal companies. They argued that the agency did not have the authority to limit emissions across the whole of the states. Now, these 19 states were worried their power sectors will be forced to move away from using coal. It is a severe economic at a severe economic cost. In a 6-3 ruling, the court sided with the conservative states and fossil fuel companies, agreeing that EPA did not have the authority to impose such sweeping measures. Now, so they are imposing that. Okay, they don't want to incur too much debt. Now, it's not like where they are, that particular geographical area that they are, whatever activities that they are taking, impacts them in that particular geographical area. Yes, let's take the whole of the United States. Is going to impact them only. Whatever they do there impacts you who is listening to me in Nigeria, in Ghana, in that village there. It's impacting you. Now, so when they come to say, look, environmental, blah, 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 and we know that holistically, we are not all on board with that notion, though we know some of us can tell the effect of environmental degradation on our weather and our water sources and the earth itself and stuff like that. So what do? Should some people just sacrifice them for what? Well, I would love to know what you think about that, but I've got only 12 minutes to go away. The lines are open for those of you who want to call. It is 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. Those of you in the US or Canada is 0017183032737. Now let's move on straight. Now, starting another story making the round in Africa. Tunisia has unveiled draft constitution. Now, I think they are stoking fire or pouring more fuel into the fire, and I bet you just a matter of time it's all going to go a big bang. Now, Tunisia's President Kais Saied on Thursday published a draft constitution that will be put to a referendum on July the 25 and give broad powers to the head of state, marking a radical break with the existing parliamentary system. The text published in the official gazette confirms the expected presidentialization of the regime by stipulating that the president of the republic exercises executive power assisted by a government led by a head of government who he appoints. Now, this government will not be presented to Parliament for a vote of confidence. The president, according to the published draft, will also enjoy wide-ranging prerogatives. He is the supreme commander of the armed forces, defines the general policy of the state, and approves law. He can also submit legislation to Parliament, which must examine it as a matter of priority. Well, this is power. This is power. And unfortunately, when it comes to Africans, most of us will want that power. The moment we have that kind of power, we just go after our enemies or people who are our critics or people who are against our vision. But there's one thing that the good book says. When I talk about the book, I'm talking about the Bible here. It says, as a leader, make your vision clear that anyone who comes will see it, understand it, and will run with it. But it doesn't seem to be the story when it comes to African leaders. So they're not able to table their agenda properly, and therefore, the moment you critique them or they say that you are hindering whatever they want to do, they come after you big time. So what is going to happen to Tunisia in the next few months? We will see. We'll be following very closely and see what can be done when it comes to when it comes to, we'll see what can be done when it comes to just bear with me. My apologies. Let's quickly move on to one other story because as I said, I'm pressed with time. So let's see. Okay, let me say good morning to Mr. Dante Berry as well. Okay, now let's move on straight to some of the other stories that is making the rounds this morning. Let's come to the UK front because we've got about 8 minutes to go. As I said, I will bring you the money hour with Mr. Dante Berry in the next how many minutes? Pick, 8 minutes. Okay. But calls to suspend Tory MP after groping allegation, and inquiry calls to stop tragedies like Logan Mwangi's case. Now let's quickly move on to that. An inquiry into Wales Children's Services has been called for to prevent the tragedies like Logan Mwangi's murder. On Thursday, his mother, stepfather, and teenager were given life sentences for 5-year-old Logan's murder. Now, Welsh Liberal Democrat leader Jane Dodds said lessons must be learned so that it never happens again. The Welsh government said it will closely consider the results of the Children's Services inspection and a review of events before Logan's death. Now, Logan's body was found in the River Ardmore near his home in San Bridgend County in 2021 after he suffered 56 catastrophic injuries in the brutal and sustained attack while the biological mom, looked on. And that's a sad one. Did she feel that powerless? Or what exactly was going on with her? It is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. May his soul rests in perfect peace. Now, the final story, and this time round in the hearts of government. Chris Pincher called to suspend Tory MP after groping allegation. Now, Boris Johnson is facing calls to suspend his former deputy chief whip as a Tory MP after allegations he groped 2 men at a private members club. Now, Chris Pincher quit his government post on Thursday, saying in a resignation letter he drank far too much and embarrassed myself and other people. Now, Labour's Yvette Cooper called for his suspension while the really serious allegations are formally investigated. Now, this is about sexual assault. She added, she said, Mr. Pincher, the Conservative Party and the Tory Whip's office for comment those who approached has not received any comment. But World Secretary Simon Hart said he was unable to confirm a formal probe had been launched into the allegation. He added that the Tory Chief Whip, Chris Heaton Harris, will be holding discussion on Friday to decide properly what should happen. He goes on further to say, saying he was drinking at the Carlton Club in central London when he said to have assaulted 2 other male guests. Now, several concerned Tory MPs contacted the Conservative Whip's office to complain about his behavior, the paper said. Now, dozens of people were present in a small room with a bar at the private members club, including other MPs, ministers, club officials, and people working in public relations. And that's why some people will tell you that they don't like or they don't agree to people drinking alcohol because it makes you lose your marbles. Now, some would say they are able to control themselves because they know their limits, blah blah blah. But it's a case where this one drank a bit more and got intoxicated, or his senses was impaired, and therefore went on to do this. And look at what it's caused him. Well, the question is he even straight or is he gay? Why did he go grope men? Is he trying to come out? Well, we're following that story very, very closely. Hopefully by Monday we'll have more details on that. On Thursday, Downing Street source said, staying stood, Mr. Pincher will face no further actions from the party and will keep the whip, allowing him to continue to sit as a Conservative MP. And a Tory MP raised concerns about Mr. Pincher's behavior to senior figures in Number 10 and the Conservative Party, including Chief Whip Chris Heaton Harris, now Nigel Adams, government whips, and one of the Prime Minister's top advisor Ben Gascoigne. Now, speaking about raising concerns, the MP said loads of us did when he was in frame for Chief Whip and he never got it. There were concerns none of us had proof we could use. He should have the whip suspended and a by-election held. Do they want a by-election? Really? Do you think that Boris wants another by-election at this time when he knows that just a week ago he sprayed his bloody nose because of a by-election, a couple of by-elections? Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But this is where we bring the first part of the program to a close. We're going to be crossing over to Kent, where we have our money man. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. And I apologize to most of our listeners. I think there was a sound in the background that might have been playing and disturbing you, but I really sincerely apologize for that. So now let's quickly take a break, and once we come back, I bring you our money man. And today is talking about the cost of living crisis here in the UK once again. Stay tuned.
Have something. I can't just come here. Everyone is rejoicing and singing. So what I
and I'm so excited. Lady to Lady Global Conference. Now you need to hurry and register at www.ladytoladyconference.org. Alright, so of course limited sitting, and I'll be ministering to you by the Spirit of God. I'm so excited. Congratulations, Lady to Lady Global Conference. I'll see you there. God bless you. Register www.ladytoladyconference.org. God bless you.
Ladies, this is our time. I saw Lady to Lady on the TV, and I was at a point in my life I needed a change. I needed a turnaround. I went to the conference. I saw the ladies there. They were filled with so much joy and happiness. I gave my life to Christ, and I can assure you my life has never been the same. It's gone from glory to glory. Ladies, if you need a turnaround in your life, if you're tired of repeating the same things over and over again, make the choice today. Come to Lady, and I can assure you, your life will never be the same again.
When I came last year, I didn't have an expectation, just like our other sister. But when I came, the presence allows you to start to think about an expectation. As I went in, I said, you know what? I have to have something. I can't just come here. Everyone is rejoicing and singing. So what I had was polycystic ovaries, and it suffers women suffer from it a lot, where it's a cyst, and it blocks your fallopian tube, so you don't have any periods. And I had gone now probably about 10 months with no period at all, and I was just getting bigger. It affects you emotionally and physically. So as I got there, there was a point where Deaconess, I mounted the stage and said, anyone who has an issue with blood, come forward. And I was there, and I was like, I'm not going forward. I'll sit down here. And I was, but then the Holy Spirit will push you, and you'll be like, no, I need to make a change. And that's what happened. I went forward, and they laid hands on me, and I went home, and I was still like, well, I haven't seen any period yet. But then I remembered the word that was given, and I said, okay. I sat down, closed the door. It's very important to have that time where you can actually think about the word and meditate on it. So that's what I did. Within 2 days, the period came because I had faith. I held on to a word, and I made it possible for me.
And those were the words that
at least in these difficult and challenging times. And therefore, let me take this opportunity to say good afternoon to you, Mr. Chabiri.
Good afternoon, Archie. Pleasure to come your way again this Friday afternoon.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, and thank you for coming on as well. Hope you are doing very well, sir.
I am indeed, and Bob Marley has lifted me up.
Oh, wow.
This afternoon. Yeah, it says, shouldn't worry, everything will be all right.
Yes.
I think that's the message we need to hear now in these times that we're in.
Yes. Listeners, Mr. Dantare, he is the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. When it comes to any issue pertaining to your accounts, oh my goodness, look no further, get in touch with him, and he will help you on that front. Okay? Yes. So, now we know that it's been tough times. Cost of living going high, inflation, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, so people are actually very, very worried, panicking. Now, I think today you got some stuff for us. You said the cost of living support measures that the Chancellor has announced in May. Now, first of all, I will allow you to talk about it, and then let people know exactly what is there that they can also take advantage of. Over to you, sir.
Right, thank you very much. As you stated, things are very tough at the moment. Everywhere you look, prices are going up, and people are really, really struggling. And so the Chancellor has, laid out, I think it was on the 26th of May, laid out additional support for various households to cushion us in terms of the high cost of living that we are all experiencing at the moment. I think yesterday I went to the pumps, to buy diesel, and it's almost £2 per liter, which was really unheard of. Only a couple of years back. But here we are, and these hard times, luckily, or we're blessed to have, in this country, some support that the government is able to give to us. So it's important that we take control of this information and make sure that whatever you are entitled to, you use the information to be able to get it, and ensure that you are receiving what you need to be able to get you through these tough times. Okay. Now, some of the measures that have been announced, I'll go through each one. So the first one that was announced by the Chancellor has to do with the energy bill scheme. If you remember, last autumn, Chancellor statement, he announced a winter loan support.
Okay, listener, just bear with that. Yes, Mr. Jeffrey, position yourself very well because there was a bit of break in the communication there. Yeah, but I think it's better now. It's better now, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So, as I was saying, last winter in the Chancellor's winter statement, he announced some support in respect of the energy bills, which we expected to go up from April and October this year. And the support was in the form of a £200 loan, which he was going to offer to all households, which would have been repaid in 5 years installment. Now that has been scrapped. We have a doubling of that for £200 to £400 in the form of a grant, and so that £400 would no longer be repayable. That £400 would no longer be repayable. So it's a one-off scheme to help us with our energy bill.
Okay.
So we will see energy suppliers who deliver this support to households with domestic electricity meters over 6 months from October 2022. Direct debit and credit customers would have their money credited to their account, whilst customers who have prepayment meters will have the money applied to their meter or paid by a voucher. So depending on the way you pay your electricity bill, you would receive this support through this way. So it's important to make sure that whichever system you're on, you are receiving the support.
Okay.
And also important to note that this support will apply directly for households in England, Scotland and Wales. And it will deliver equivalent support to people who are also in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Now, this support is also in addition to the £150 council tax rebate for households in England, council tax A to D, which was announced in February, and which millions already received their payment. So if you are entitled to this, also entitled to this £150 payment, council tax rebate, make sure you have received this rebate. If not, then you need to be contacting or speaking to your council to make sure you receive funds. Now, the next one also announced was the £650 one-off cost of living payment. This is for those on means-tested benefits. So the Chancellor is saying that more than 8 million households on means-tested benefits will receive a payment of £650 this year, which is installment. And this includes all households receiving the following benefits: universal credit, income-based job seeker allowance, income-related employment and support allowance, income support, working tax credit, child tax credit, pension credit. So they're saying that if you receive any of these payments, then you would also qualify for the one-off cost of living payment that would be credited to individuals or households in the market. It's important to also say that these payments would be tax-free and would also not count towards the benefit cap and would not have any impact at all on any existing benefit award. So these are one-off payments in addition to what you have already been receiving. And the government would make these payments directly to households across the UK. Another support, cost of living support, that was announced is the one of 300 pensioner cost of living.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I think we're having a connectivity issue with Mr. Tabiri, but he's working on it. He will position himself so that we can get through to it, because it's quite a very, very important program that we are holding today, and that pertains to costs of living support, so that when you are listening to us, or if you are listening to us, you know where to go or what support is there for you to access. So please just bear with us. Let me see whether I've got him back. Mr. Tabiri.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes, please go on, sir.
Okay, really sorry. I think the airwaves are a problem with the connection today.
Yeah.
So stop me if it breaks again.
Okay, sir. We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll do.
So another one to look at is the one of £300 pensioners' cost of living payment. And we know that pensioners are impacted by high energy costs. And many low-income pensioner households do not claim the means-tested benefit they are entitled to. And so the Chancellor has provided this £300 extra payment to help pensioners cover the rising cost of energy this winter. This is in addition to the £400 grant that all households would benefit from. So this additional one-off payment would go to over 8 million pensioner households across the UK who already received the winter fuel payment and will be on top of any other one-off support. So a pensioner household is entitled to, for example, where they are on pension credit or receive disability benefits. Eligible households who currently receive between £200 to £300 would see you receive another £300, effectively a doubling of this winter support payment. Also to note that this winter fuel payment is not taxable and does not affect eligibility for other benefits. Okay. So all pensioner households will get the one-off pensioner living cost as a top-up of their winter fuel payment, expected in November or December in the coming winter. Then also, pensioners will be eligible for this payment if they are over state pension age 66 or above. And there are circumstances where state pension age does not qualify for the winter payment. And if you fall within this category, HMRC, you need to check on the eligibility criteria in the winter payment pages of HMRC, and they give guidance on why certain pension age does not qualify for this winter fuel payment. And the government will also make these payments directly to pensioners households across the UK. And then also there is the £150 disability cost of living payment. So the Chancellor is saying that we have in the UK around 6 million people who receive the following disability benefits and who would also qualify for this one-off payment of £150 from September 2022. So if you receive any disability living allowance, personal independence payment, what we call PIPs, any attendance allowance, Scottish disability benefit, armed forces independence payment, constant attendance allowance, war pension mobility supplement. So these are all allowances or benefits which disabled people receive in the UK. And so if you receive any of these, then you would receive the additional £150 cost of living payment supplement from September as well. So for the many disability benefit recipients who receive means-tested benefits, this £150 will come on top of the £650 that they will receive separately. So remember, we spoke about the £650 one-off payment to households with means-tested benefits. People with disabilities will receive an additional £150 on top of this. And then also overall, the government is saying that they have increased, they have provided a £500 million increase or extension to the household support fund. Now, the household support fund has been set up by the government, which was throughout the pandemic. Households, lower income households or households with peculiar circumstances where they needed additional support could contact their councils and ask for this support. And this support was provided and means tested at the discretion of the local council to support households. Now the government has provided an additional £500 million to the local government authorities to be able to provide more support to households during these times of difficulty. This has been extended from October 2022, so this support will be around. It was due to end in October 2022, but this has been extended further to March 2023. So the household support funds help those most in need payment towards the rising cost of food, energy, and water bills. And please note, this is also in addition to other support schemes that have previously been announced. Then it says the government will issue additional guidance to local authorities to ensure support is targeted towards those most in need of support, including those not eligible for the cost of living payment as set out on 26th of May 2022, which we have spoken about already. So this will bring the total amount provided through the Household Support Fund to 1.5 billion since October 2021. The Household Support Fund is administered by local councils in England, and further information is available directly from them. Eligibility will be determined by individual council. So these are the various support funds or support schemes that are out there at the moment, and we need to find out if you are struggling. You need to find out if you qualify for any of these support schemes that are available and have been announced for households.
Okay. Well, listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and today we are looking at cost of living support scheme that was announced by the Chancellor of the Exchequer, and I run through a few of them. But eligibility, first of all, let's look at the 650 energy bill scheme. Now, what the energy bill? Who qualifies? Who is eligible for it?
That is £400.
£400,
£400. Yes, previously it was announced that we're going to receive £200 in the form of a loan. But that £200 would no longer be repayable, so it's been increased to £400. And it's going to be received as a grant. All households in the UK would receive this grant of £400.
But the other one that was supposed to have come from the councils, is that one coming? Was it 150 or something?
That is 150, yeah. So that was the eligibility criteria was for those in council tax bands A to D.
A to D.
if you are in council tax bands A to D, I think the bands go up to E and F. I think.
Yeah.
So if you are in council tax bands A to D, and you are the council taxpayer, then you would receive this payment. If you pay your council tax by direct debit, your council would pay the money directly into your bank account. If you don't pay by direct debit, then I would encourage you to contact the council and ask about the council tax rebate and make arrangements to get this paid to you somehow.
Okay. Now let's come to the pensioners. That 300 cost of living allowance that is being added to them. Is it going to be a one-off payment or it's going to be paid in installments?
Yeah. So this is a one-off payment.
Okay. Ooh.
This is a one-off payment that will be paid on top of the other cost of living support that's been announced.
Okay. And then coming to the disability cost as well, 150. Now, is it for every person who is registered as a disabled person?
I would say yes. The criteria that's been announced is for anybody who receives any of the disability benefits. So if I run through the disability benefits again, we have the disability living allowance, personal independence payments or PIPs. If you receive attendance allowance, if you're in Scotland and you receive the Scottish disability benefit, armed forces independent payment, constant attendant allowance, or war pension mobility supplement. If you receive any of these disability allowances, then you would qualify for the additional 150 disability one-off cost of living payment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, that's information for you. Now, the final one was the 500 million the government increased household support fund. Now, which households? You were saying that there's a criteria there, but who determines? What will qualify someone?
This is really at the discretion of the local councils.
Okay.
Through their various support systems, they are able to identify families or households who are most in need of support. So I think this will be special situations, special cases where indeed there's what would probably call poverty in these households. So it's very targeted, and each local council or local authority have their own criteria for determining who receives this household support fund. But that should deter no one. I think if you feel that you need additional support, by all means contact the council and make an application to receive something from the household support fund. In this country, the way things work, if you don't ask, you don't get. So if you are in need and you need the support, then by all means put in an application and hear what they have to say.
Okay, put in an application and hear what you have to say. Now, there are others who listen to such programs and they are interested in doing it, but they get worried. They don't know what to do. Do you think that they will need extra hand, like consulting an accountant like you to maybe guide them or something like that? Or is it straightforward?
It should be straightforward. If you are already on some of these benefits already, then I would expect that these payments will come to you automatically.
Okay.
The only one that you would probably need to push and press and apply for will be the household support fund, because that is issued by the council, and the council may determine households who are most in need through their own work. Some others, if you are not on the radar of the council, then you would miss out. And so I would ask that if you believe that your household is definitely in need, speak to the council. I'm sure they have processes for making this application. It's not standard. It differs from council to council. So I cannot say for sure that you need a professional person.
Okay.
But given that this is being provided to support needy households, I would expect that they will not make the application process too difficult for you to require the services of a professional person.
Okay.
Because that will come at additional cost to you.
Okay.
But I would expect that this should be easy to apply for. Check on the internet, check on the local council's website for any guidance, or if you are in doubt or you don't have the means or you don't understand some of the things that they are saying, sometimes it's better you go in there personally to speak to someone, and there will be someone there to help and support you through the application process.
Wow. Listeners, Mr. Dantabri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. Well, you have an issue pertaining to not only these discussions that we've had, no, there are various discussions that we've had, and it's all on our podcast. This one is going to be ready as well. You can go to all our social media platforms where we broadcast on and go back and re-listen to everything that we've discussed in the past. It will help you a great deal. If you want to listen to the current ones as well, you can do so as well. But before we run up our conversation, we'll go back to Mr. Taburi. He will be summing everything up and then putting his contact details across, so that if you are listening to us and you want to get in touch with him, he doesn't only do that when it comes to your accounting, whether self-employed or whether you've got a business and maybe your accountant is not treating you the way that you want it. You want that, get in touch with him and he will help you a great deal. Over to you, Mr. Taburi.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Archie. These are difficult times, as was predicted before, and we are looking at a very difficult summer and winter. We're hoping that by the time we get through the next winter, we would have gone through this hardships and come out the other side well. If we're going to do that, then we need to be able to, access some of these support that the government is putting out there. And I'll urge everyone to put their ears on the ground and listen for any help that they can get. And the place to do that will be on Starr Radio, as we will bring to you any new information, any changes, any updates to these support funds, because from experience, as we know, these supports have been changing by their very character and substance from time to time. So it's important to be updated on any new changes that is happening, and the place to do that is on Starr Radio UK. If you need any help with any accountancy support or accountancy needs, you can reach out to me on my mobile number 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me if you prefer email. It's dan@gilaccountants.com.
Yes, it's dan@gilaccountants.com. Accountant with an S there. Okay. So I want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you, and thank you very much, Mr. Tabiri, for this wonderful presentation once again. And I hope that in abundance of water, you will not be a fool to be thirsty, because information is power. You have that information, but somebody say information is power. It's subjective. Application of it, you have it, and if you don't apply it properly, that same information can kill you. Well, it is true there though. So this is why I bring the program to a close for today, and I want to say thank you very, very much. As I did say earlier on, due to some technical work going on at the moment, we're going to be signing up now. But God willing, Monday we'll be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. And let me say good morning to good afternoon to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi as well. May God richly bless you, and that program that is happening live from today to the 3rd of July. Pastor Chidi is having a special special program where he's inviting each and every one of you. I'm trying to see whether I could get the details of that program so that we can put it across for the man of God, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi. But get in touch and go to your Facebook, look for Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, Tsede, and then he will pop up and you follow that program. He is a great man of God, and you will be blessed. On that note, let me say thank you very, very much for this wonderful program. This afternoon, there's going to be lots of music and less talk, as I say all the time. But now, I sign off with this song from Wuta Efriye, or Efriye Wuta, whichever is appropriate. Yes, my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, thank you for helping me out on that front. But you know, the song is even evaded me. Yes, I've got it now. So enjoy that tune, and when it ends and you don't hear from me, it's me Archie. Say have a top of the day. Bye bye for now.
Hungry man say fix the country. Belleful say fix yourself. Who really needs fixing? Now how? Him. Yeah. Come on. Country hot. Country hot. Plenty no get what to eat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we ought to pray for change. Gala. Country hot. Country tough. Everybody feel the heat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we ought to pray for change. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. Tell me who and you and me be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. No. Tell me who. Tell me me. Tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. And we get to go to plenty cocoa, but we still they borrow they go to get a job. It be whom you know. We live like crabs in a barrel. Shayo, rupa beshi and lo. Hey, we say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. No. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I said now you great. We say fix the country. You say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Your minimum wage be hand to mouth. The government know the pay for months. From the same pay, Peking go chop. The fees go come. Yari the ball. And civil servants then magicians. Building mansions after few years. Who cares about the coffers? And each man living for himself. We say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Now. Now who be the country? You be the country. Me be the country. Fix yourself. Where? I agree. Hey, we say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. No. Tell me who. Tell me me.